This is episode 1 of the Be Unique podcast. Welcome. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. You have no idea. You guys seen the announcement, and I know I'm a little late on the video, but here we are. You guys are joining me from my home, my living room, my safe place. I'm letting you guys in, before the lights and everything. We're just going to get to know each other just a little bit. If you haven't seen my face before, hey y'all, how y'all doing? My name is Janae Unique Igiria. Yes, I just got married. Just last September, I got married. That's a whole story in itself, y'all. It's just so much that I got to catch up on with y'all. But yes, I'm 28 years old from Compton, California. So if you're from Compton, LA, stand up. Like growing up in LA, let me tell y'all, growing up in LA, Compton, is just so much talent. It's so many people that's just so filled with so many gifts. Like we have drill team, band, dance team, mimes, just it's just all things art, painters, like even the people who would do like the graffiti, the stuff that they try to cover up, but it's still some type of art. You just see it everywhere in good and bad form. But just growing up, getting into music, getting into dance, getting into acting, everything, I can just start from the beginning. When my dad is a musician and he plays the drums, plays the piano, he plays the tuba when he was growing up, he was in band, and my mom was on the drill team. If you know where Centennial is on Central, that's where my parents went. They both went to Centennial, met each other at Centennial, going to high school together, and then they got together, had us after that. So growing up, I was always in the band room with my dad. I'm always hearing music, going around, going to church, as you already can know, I grew up in church. So growing up, being around all that music, it's like you had no choice but to just feel it. Like you can just feel it through your body. Like seeing my dad teach people music, teaching people how to read, teaching people how to stay in the pocket, and even down to my grandfather. His father was the band director at Centennial and Dominguez High School. If y'all know Mr. Roberts, that is my grandfather. Rest in peace to my granddad. He just passed not too long ago, but he definitely left his legacy behind him through me, through my siblings, through all of us. So we do thank him for that. But growing up, seeing him just feeling the music through his body, like it was just crazy to me. Like I just felt it, and I was just like, this is something that I love. This is something I have to be a part of. This is something that just lives inside of me, that lives inside of my family, that you just can't run away from. Dancing, I started dancing in church. A lot of us out here, we all started in church. I'm still in church, but we all started in church, dancing at the programs and dancing in the plays and dancing, and everything, or acting or singing, being in a choir, leading songs, it was just everywhere. But dance was just something that I just couldn't budge. Dance is like my outlet to whatever I'm going through. I put it in my dance. Whatever I'm going through, I put it in my songs, like the songs that I've written. Girl, y'all pray for me when it comes to writing my songs, to actually put them out, because I have so many songs that I've written that I just haven't put out because your girl just be getting scary sometimes. She just be getting real scary. But y'all, pray that out for me. I'm gonna really start putting out some music. Probably not even for myself, probably for other people, but I just gotta get it out there. So y'all pray for that. But again, just growing up surrounded by music, I'm just like, there are people that are out here that are so talented, even just besides me, the people that I've come in contact with through school, through church, through just going out and networking with people. God has put in so many gifts in so many people where I just be like, we got to work together. We got to work together and find some type of something where we can come together and share our gifts with each other, not so much be like how the world wants us to be, being jealous and comparing each other, but we all have a special talent. So I think when I got to high school, that's when I really was like, you know, I want to take this thing serious. Like I want to dance seriously. I want to take um my singing more seriously, like try to really get out there, really get my stuff out there and network with people and work with people. And I've met some of the most amazing people through just sharing my experiences, being an open person, being myself, being vulnerable. Um, I met so many people through that, and I thank God because I'm friends with a lot of those people now. But I also dealt with a lot of insecurity or a lot of trying to be like, because when you get in that world and you see so many talented people, you start to shy yours, like, well, I don't sound like this person, or I don't look like this person, or I'm too big to be this to be in that position of this person, or that person had a better avenue than I did to access what they have. And it took me a while to really just realize that the same thing that God put in them, He put in me. Like He made all of us different, so we should never compare to each other, and we should never try to compare somebody else's gift to our own. That's why we're all different. And with this podcast, I really wanted to shine light on that, because with social media and just every way of the world that's trying to make even just like everybody just fighting against each other, like we all just don't have a place, like that is just certain space for certain people and not for other people. We all got to do the same thing. God never meant for it to be that way. Like, it's hard for me to believe that with all the things that He put in different people, that He expects for us to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, seeing all of that, I just was like, I gotta do it all. I gotta do it all, because the Lord just blessed me with so many gifts. So anyway, um, like I said, in high school, I think that's when I really was just like, man, the Lord blessed me with these gifts, but I really don't know what to do with them. Like, you go to church and you share your gift, but anything outside of that, you're just like, "Ugh, ugh." Like, I'm like scared almost to go outside of that, because you get so comfortable with being in that place. You don't know how to be in the real world. And so when I got out there, with these different artists and stuff, doing background work and just being in like studio sessions and things like that, it was just like, oh my God, like I don't even know where I fit in. Do I fit in? Am I supposed to be like, in these kind of rooms? And do I have to look a certain way? Like, I know I'm kind of probably saying the same thing, but those are really things that went through my mind, or that have kept me from probably a lot of opportunities that I could have took advantage of, or rooms that I could have been in if I just hadn't been so scared, or hadn't compared myself to the other talent that's in the room. So I think now at 28, which is crazy, because you would think that you would come to this realization so, long ago. At 28, that's when I'm just like, okay, so everybody was made different. It's only one you. What you do with your life falls on you. You can't blame anybody else. You can't blame how you was raised. You can't blame um how things played out in your life, but you can play a part in the change. You can play a part in turning your life around. You know what I'm saying? Like, we serve a God that can do exceedingly and abundantly, but at the end of the day, do we really feel like He can do those things? Like, we talk about faith, we sing about faith, we dance about faith, we speak to each other and have conversations about faith and trust in God and things like that. But when it really comes down to it, do we trust Him enough to show us how to use our gifts? Not only to use our gifts, but how to use Him according to His glory, and to see, to reap the harvest that's promised to us. Like, Timing is everything to God. If he was to throw everything at us at once, we would be overwhelmed. I would be overwhelmed. So I just I just took on this mindset of like, my time will come when it comes. It'll come when it comes. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to get sleepless nights because of it, or that you feel like it's never going to come. But everything happens in an appointed time. I don't even know how I got here. I'm just talking to y'all. Not y'all in my life. Not y'all in my life. Not me being personal, but I feel like these are the conversations that make the difference. That vulnerability and just being your true self is what makes the difference. And so after high school, I went to, I respectfully, don't listen to me, but I just feel like school was not a thing for me. Like after high school, I went to Alabama A&M for like a little under a year. I think like I did one semester, and then I went to Elko in Compton. I went to Southwest, but school was just not. It just wasn't. It just wasn't a thing for me. Like I just felt like I just never got into it. Like all of my sisters were into it. I have four sisters, two younger than me and two older than me, and they all was just got their degrees. One is in school now, and it's like school was just never for me. I feel like maybe it will be in the long run, but right now I'm just like, ugh, school is not for me. So after going to school, being in choir, all of that stuff, like I'm like, I just really want to change. Like I really just feel like I need to like do more. And then I started teaching, teaching like praise dance, hip hop, jazz. I started teaching all these dances or these dance classes, and this it's like this new thing unlocked in me, like just creating and just being fascinated with the background, with the rehearsals, and then you finally get to the day where you nervous and you shake it down. Okay, it's like you are shaking and shivering because of the nerves and the adrenaline that's going through your body. Like that's what gets me. That's what gets me when you've been working hard and then you finally get to that moment and you're like, I'm here, it's time to show up, it's time to do it. Those are the moments that I live for. When you're singing and you're rehearsing, or you go into school for whatever you're going to school for. If you're a doctor, you finally get that surgery, or you finally pass that test to go to the heights that you want to go to. That adrenaline is what keeps me going every day. Like I work a regular job. I worked a regular 9 to 5. Still, even to this day, I'm recording this after work. But even to this day, I'm still trying to learn how to balance what I love to do and the stuff that I have to do. Like this world, especially like social media now, make you feel like, oh, you could just drop everything. You could just quit everything and just be like, forget this job. I'll figure it out. Which some people it has worked for. But for me, I'm like, ugh, I need to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if I'm going to be able to pay this bill this month. I need to be able to know that that money is coming. And I think that sometimes that's what holds me back a little bit, because it kind of sometimes puts you in a stagnant place because you feel like I can't put all of my efforts into what I love, and but I also have to put efforts into the things that I need. So how do I balance, but also how do I grow here if I'm trying to grow here? If you know what I mean. I feel like that's probably the balance at this time, like versus when I was in college and I'm just trying to figure everything out. And I'm just like, okay, well, I get a job. I grew up with parents that was like, until you figure it out, you need to get a job because you also have to have your own stuff. And it's just like, oh, okay. But even just on the spiritual side, like I knew that God wanted to take me to another place. But as I said, fear always kept me behind. Worry always kept me behind. Doubtfulness always left me um in a place where I just didn't do it. I just never got the job done. I never just stayed consistent. I think consistency and discipline was probably the most difficult things for me because I just struggle with balancing. and making excuses. So that's why when I do this podcast, I'm proud of myself because I've been already consistent more than I have probably in my entire life. I've been more disciplined. Like I need to do this and I need to do that, because um, I really want to make my dreams happen, and I really want to see the promises and that God made for me and that God promised me. But with asking God for things, we also have to be consistent and disciplined until we get to, whatever the promise is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ask God for things and don't prepare for them. I just feel like that's probably a lot of our issues. Like, we ask God, like, I want a new house and I want a new car, which we need to stop asking so much about physical stuff, but even just spiritually, like, I want better discernment, or I want to really get to know who God is. But with saying that and no effort behind it, we won't get anywhere. Saying I want to be closer to God, but not reading your word. Saying I want to be closer to God, but not making a prayer life, um, or talking to God, daily. How is that ever going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So nothing's going to happen if we don't do anything about it. And I know this is probably all over the place. I'm kind of just, talking to you guys so you can get inside my mind and you guys can really see where I'm coming from. But it all ties into the Be Unique podcast. So let me just tell you how I started this. So, Unique is my middle name. And so I always just be like, Janae Unique on everything. But when, I really started thinking like, okay, what do I want to do? I know I can dance, I know I can sing, I know I can act. But what do I want to do? And or what do I like to do most? And what I like to do most is connect with people. I'm always been that person, or people they tell me all the time, like, Janae, you literally can just talk to anyone. You literally can relate and just you're just like I'm a people person. I love being around people. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people and just seeing what the gag is, because I feel like everyone needs a friend or needs someone in their life that is consistent and that can relate and that will be there for you. And I've always been that person with my friends. I've always been that person with my family. Um, Even when those things aren't reciprocated to me, or when I feel that, like, the energy is just not energy, like the reciprocation is not being, reciprocated. Like, you there for people, but they're not there for you. Or when you really need them, they're not there for you. And I think that I've dealt with that a lot as well, and had anger towards certain things because things were changing. Like, when you be like, oh God, if this person is not for me, let them not be for you. Right? And reveal that to me. Like, even like I said, we're still in like college. This is all what I'm thinking, like leaving college. I'm kind of speeding through. There'll probably be another time where I'll break it down a little bit more. But even after college, I went through a lot of anger. Like, I went through a lot of just anger with everything. Like, it was one of those things where you just like, God, whoever's for me, reveal those people to me. And whoever's not for me, let it be a smooth transition. You know what I'm saying? Like, no drama, no nothing. But the people that's supposed to be here, let them be here. And the people who's not supposed to be here, silently remove them. Like, or just, make it to where it is not, that it's clear that, who these people are, but let it be a swift transition. You know what I'm saying? And I think that after high school and college, I think that's when I really started to see him doing that in my life. And I didn't know how to handle it at first. Like, I'm like, I know I asked for this, but God, like, really? Like, really? Like, now I feel like I'm by myself. Now I feel like, wow, I was really there for this person, but they don't have your best interest at heart. Be for real. Like, it was crazy to me. But now looking back on it, I thank God so much, because I think as you become an adult, like before you get married, all of that stuff, like it feels so much better to know that you have the right people around you and with you, and that's for you, even if that's family members, even if friends, whoever that's closest to you. Like, you would want to know that the people around you are for you and have your best interests at heart, that are praying for you, that are not just saying like, "Oh, I'm going to pray for you," but they're praying and interceding on your behalf. And those are the people that you need around you at all times. Now, I'm not saying, just cut everybody off and stuff like that. I didn't just be like, "Oh, just cut them off and never talk to them again." Forgive, get that anger out of your heart, and move on and move on. And this is me moving on to better things. This is me learning from my mistakes. This is me, trying to evolve into my best self, trying to move into my best self. And y'all are on the ride with me. So currently, like I said, at 28 years old, like I said, I will break this down one of these days. Like, we can go, we can have 2 hours of my whole life and what I went through and things like that. But to make it plain, the Lord is good. The Lord has kept me. And I thank God for where I am now. Like, even getting married, y'all, meeting my partner was a whole experience in itself. Like, definitely one of the best decisions I ever made. But just the person that I am today is just so different than the person that I was in the past. But I thank God for change. I thank God for evolution. I thank God for improvement. And I think that that's just the purpose of this podcast and what I want to talk about. Just finding yourself, understanding that there are other people in this world that are dealing with the same thing, and that none of us are in this by ourselves. None of us are in this, knowing it all. None of us know it all. Only God know it all. None of us know it all. And even if we try to act like or put this persona like, "I know it and I know everything that's going on," none of us know what we're talking about, child. We just be talking. Like, I know God be looking at us like, you go keep talking, or you go do what you gotta do. So when you're watching these episodes, when you see all the guests, when you see everything that's going on, I really hope that you guys learn something. I really hope that you guys take something um, from the conversation, and to take it into your daily lives, to your everyday lives, and to know that we all have dreams, that we all have talents, that we all have, different things that the Lord has blessed us with, but we all play a part. I can't say that enough. We all play a part in the body of Christ. We all, um, yeah, we all have a purpose. We all matter. We all, love God, and God loves all of us, no matter how different we are, no matter what trauma we go through, no matter ups and downs. That's something that we all have in common, is that the Lord loves us, and there's nothing that can separate us from the love of God. So, whew, let's all just take a breath. I know that I've been talking a lot. Y'all are in my business, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm just playing like, y'all in my business, and I really just cannot. Am I opening up to y'all like this? But like I said, I'm a people person. I love to share truth. I love to share stories, and that's exactly what we're going to do here on the Be Unique podcast. Oh, and I forgot to even tell y'all how this got started. So as I said, I just got so off track. But how this started, yeah, as I said, I was just trying to see what I love to do best, and I love connecting with people. And I feel like this is the perfect way. And I feel like God really put it on my spirit to do this. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know, like, what is going to happen, but I know that it's going to be great. I know that the conversations are going to be mind blowing and educational and inspirational. And I know that just the connections that we're going to make, I know that everything that we're about to be talking about, child, this is as real as it gets. This is as real as it gets. And I'm just so excited for y'all to get on this journey with me. And if you, again, subscribe to your mama, tell your daddy, tell everybody to follow, because this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. We're like, I already have some people that's coming on. I have musicians, photographers, I have videographers, I have nurses, I have um people who are touring and doing their own shows or directing their own movies or whatever. People in all aspects of life. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm so excited, and this completes our first episode. And like I said, y'all gonna be learning about me all throughout these interviews. So I don't want to talk your ear off, but I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you are here. Woo! Now, be looking forward to the next episode, y'all. Y'all not even gonna believe who I have on my who I'm gonna have on the couch first. Y'all not gonna believe who I have on the couch first, but come back. I love you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. Till next time.